in on the right foot because they definitely can't afford the slow start here against a top 3 team in the world right now here, ENCE.
100%. Now, it looks like we are going to see them at least drawing a lot of attention over towards the lobby there. Torsi going to be forced back here towards the yard. dycha straight in his face, hits him with the jumping block. What a way to start it. Snappi onto the head of JDC, and things looking rough for MOUZ. Dexter able to at least swing around here and find a trade and look to lock down ladder base. However, he's been spotted, and he has seen Snappi there as well. We are just going to watch him fall away. Gets binked down to 7 HP, and Snappi is hunting, knowing that Dexter is low here.
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, ENCE are just in complete control of this round, and this is exactly how you want to play T-side Nuke, particularly on the pistol round. Just mobility, throwing caution to the wind, making the CTs worried about every little timing as they rotate around the map. Snappi still applying pressure in there from elbow, while the rest of ENCE set up in the post plan on lowers.
And he can get this flank working as well, as both the CTs, they still want to deal with the flank before they go forward. But it might just cost them a round if it costs them too much more time. Snappi's still an absolute nuisance.
He's
but
done his job.
Back to the 3-on-3 it goes.
They're saving armor, bro.
He's got 2 kills, 7 HP. Should be able to survive here at ramp. But there's still a few more players coming his direction. Snack's taking a fight with him. And it looks like Dexter will survive in the end. So, look, MOUZ have more numbers, the 3 sets of armor.
He's got 2.9, so that's a A1S if you want it for Dexter. And he's got, look, no head armor. And against Galil's and Mac 10, that might be not ideal. He's still got 100 armor, though, so he could just upgrade to head armor as well if he wants to go for something else. But there's that A1S, and in fact, just going to drop that over to Frozen, who does have the head armor. So that's going to be the player we need to keep an eye on here for him to have that impact. Torsi, as you often do see in these second round forces, saving for his fund in towards round number 4 if this doesn't go well. And ENCE looking like they're going to go straight outdoors.
Oh, Frozen naded, mollied, stuck behind CT Vet, and ENCE just have so much space to drop straight into lower.
Look at this, Snappi up top of Annex hit with a Mac 10, could just finish him off. And oh, this is actually going pretty nicely for MOUZ, Mac.
Yeah, just staying safe for the moment. Dexter flings around, 90-degree flick to the head of Snacks there. And in a 5-on-2, this is getting very difficult for ENCE to win.
95-5 for Snacks, I think. Dexter, even on 5 HP, just cannot die. No bullets are connecting. How has MOUZ absolutely domed ENCE in that round? 5 alive, upgrading all of these guns. They came in with 3 Deagles. They're going to upgrade those weapons. That's the best possible situation if you're MOUZ coming in on that force buy. So they are off to a great start here on the CT side. No doubt we'll see ENCE, well, with that bomb plant, they may consider the single save, especially with so many players being able to stay alive and bring guns into the next round. They might want to just take that chip approach to the economy, maybe purchase Deagles and try to just pull some weapons away. But we'll see what they go for. They are going to force up. They're going to be dropping some AKs over and shuffling things around. So Hades with AK armor. Madden, I was a little bit worried he's going to come in with a Glock, but of course ENCE a little bit more organized than that. There's the progression smoke from dycha. Trying to work outside with this Deagle.
Everything just slowing down for a moment. ENCE grouped up in lobby. Yeah, looking to punish any aggression, and there is some coming towards them.
Yeah, Dexter so deep into his elbow here. That's a really nice nade onto dycha. He's quite low. He's going to be the contingency here for ENCE, though, trying to control outside, maybe applying some pressure to Secret. But JDC looked like he was all over that. That's a hell of a shot from dycha.
Man's been feeling it with the pistol so far. Dexter, how's the defense here at ramp? Man's getting 1, couple of bullets left in the clip, and finds a second. Beautiful. With Torsi swinging in to trade for 2 more. That's looking like the round already, and they know that dycha already penetrated down into these halls.
MOUZ all over that. Great little crossfire on towards ramp side there. dycha going to break the window with an underarm, but he's so low here that a few stray bullets will probably finish him off. He really wants that one-shot potential. See if he can at least just take 1 more gun away from MOUZ. Creeping up on that headshot line. But it's only a matter of time before you get the shoulder in from Torsi off the contact. And not even off the contact, just going to dry swing it. 3 alive there for MOUZ after a clean sweep in the 4th round. Means that they're off to a great start here on the CT side. Heading into this anti-eco, if they can keep a lot of guns up, then heading into round number 5, ENCE are going to have a weaker buy. They're going to be on like one of those 4.5. Maybe no AWP. You might be skipping a couple of grenades here and there, which T-side Nuke, you know, every little bit does actually end up mattering. You might have to see someone going down to a Galil or something like that, or just skipping the extra flash or something like that.
Let's see what ENCE are going to try to do here. Looks like some noise to be made over towards door. Snacks spammed through to 36 already. And the rest of the Glocks and Digs just making their way out is Snappi. Looking to try to hit a crisp entry, but again, it's going to be a rough one, especially when he's got a clear annex there. Torzi over the top. Should be able to farm up another.
5 alive.
Beautiful.
Bloody hell. So dream start to the half here for MOUZ. They have got so much cash. Some of those players even up near the 7K mark. You know, they've got 2 to 3 buys in reserve, even if these next couple of gun rounds don't go well. ENCE, after that last round, you even see some of them purchasing, upgrading pistols. So you're seeing Snappi down at 3.7, Madden skipping a handful of grenades. Like, the utility level is really not good. So we might see ENCE kind of pigeonholed into some quicker strats here. You know, they've only got 3 smokes across the whole team. So if they invest in outer smokes in this round, that's all the smokes they're going to have to work with here. And instead, as you do see, and as you would probably expect, it's going to be a quicker one straight out the door. They're trying to vent drop, but they've already lost Hades in the meanwhile.
Nemus mopping that one up. Madden decides to go forward in front of the vent, able to get the trade too. And Torzi not going to be having that crosshair in a solid position coming up from Secret there.
Yeah, that was the key duel really in lowers, because now this puts the CTs in such an uncomfortable position. And just like in the pistol round, you see ENCE with these lurks, with these contingency plans. One player on outside. dycha doesn't quite get the timing right. Madden's traded one in lowers in the meanwhile, but it's still a 2-on-2 with big health advantage. And look at this patience from Bemis.
Oh, you heard those footsteps going all the way over towards Secret there. And Frozen coming in from the other extremity. And now it's just going to be the dance here around the vent. Flash through. Bemis still just trying to figure out where that second T is playing from. Snappi wins his engagement. Now it's all down to Frozen, who finds the first and knows roughly the position of Snappi. Taps it. Makes a little bit of noise though, and Snappi peeks for the info. Happy to play for the round, play for his life. And that's going to be 2 on the board for ENCE. Frozen, he'll survive and still be deathless. So a very solid start from him. But that being said, ENCE, of course, ultimately taking that round.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted to see them do with low util buy like that. Not too many smokes to work with. You can't, you know, run your outside smokes protocols into whatever your follow-up's going to be. So they try to do something a little bit faster. Unfortunately, even though that's the dream plan, post-plant for Snappi, and he's been able to close out that 1v1, not a single player on the T side surviving there, which is, again, going to mean that this is a round where they have 3 MAC-10s, not a great level of utility either. So they're, again, kind of pigeonholed into a bit faster of a strat, and looks like they're, again, going to try to force their way in towards uppers. Nice and early on. Great flashes there, and you see the MAC-10s get 2 entries.
And that might just be the round, Mitch. Off the back of the rain, flashes through those skylights.
Yeah, great layering of the flashes. You see the CTs just blind for, you know, 4 to 6 seconds. More than enough time for some of those ENCE players to actually get in there. They win those duels with the MAC-10, and then you just see the instant double upgrade into A1S, which makes this retake so much harder for MOUZ.
Well, 3-3. Going to be the scoreline.
Good news is that MOUZ have bought themselves enough room in terms of the economy to have a couple slip-ups. But bad news is that ENCE now, you know, before they were a little bit wounded, they didn't have great economy, they were kind of scraping through some of those rounds. They finally win a round quite cleanly, and they're going to be able to fight for this half a little bit more. AWP taken away at the last moment there for Torzi. That's going to be a bit of a problem for MOUZ. They have the money. They do have the money to replace it. Tack timeout for MOUZ. They recognize the importance of this round. They drop this one. They're going to be economically reset with only the 2.4 loss bonus. It'd only be a single eco, but they really need to win multiple gun rounds back-to-back after such a clean one from ENCE to be able to regain that same position that they had a few rounds ago.
Well, that's it, right? You can see that momentum starting to swing, especially in terms of the pace of that round, just going out without even thinking.
Well, this is where ENCE as well, they can start to change up their pacing. They can start to change up their game plan as well because, like I said, they've been quite poor on the money. They've been quite low in terms of the utility these last couple of rounds. They've kind of been pigeonholed into some quicker strats. Now they can start to mix in the defaults. They can start to mix in the plays off the outside smokes and slow things down a little bit more.
But we still see that Galil and MAC-10 being brought into the round. No upgrade coming through from ENCE. So we'll see where they position both these weapons. If we have them at the front or at the back to go for those upgrades, those trades. Molly's going everywhere, and ENCE not quite going for the faster approach, just trying to sneak snacks into vent, and he's done so successfully.
It's vintage. The exact kind of position where you'd expect him to have impact. Frozen, 8-0. hasn't lost a single duel yet. ENCE, they've got a couple of strong positions. They're going to have to leverage this really, really good advantage on the rotation timings to be able to actually win this round, because they're behind in terms of the HP overall. Snappi's been able to peg one back in the meanwhile, but Dexter down lower could be a bit of a problem here for this post plant.
And you have a look at those health bars for ENCE as well. Snappi, Hades, both 1 bullet. And they'll be sent to the grave. You two are going to be swapped around here. Madden picking up that molly. So you can send it off to one side of Mega. And you can see this rotation coming through from MOUZ. They've already tucked 2 players down towards the B side of things. Dexter close towards the doors, and he's going to be able to defend things in a very strong manner. Torzy stops that push from window, and MOUZ, they are all over this round.
Yeah, there was no progression smoke out decon there, so they couldn't just Under Armour smoke and go for that plant. They couldn't get themselves comfortable down here on lowers, and MOUZ, they know they're in the pole position. They're in full control right now. Ooh. Sitting in Megaton, sitting at windows. As soon as that plant comes in, Dexter doesn't quite deny it, but good enough. Snappi, I mean, 12 HP and a Galil on the Megaton flank.
Hey, we'll never write him off, though. We'll never write him off.
I'm going to write him off.
Okay, you write him off. Let's see what he can do here if he can get past Torzy. No.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. I just wanted to be passionate.
I know.
Let me have my moment.
I know. You can give me a kiss later. It's all right. 3 alive for MOUZ. More than the pass mark here. Starting to recover that economy a little bit more. ENCE have just been able to put together plant after plant after plant, though. A couple of these riflers on MOUZ are absolutely rocking it right now. Both Dexter and Frozen have lost very few duels, that's for sure, early on here.
So, with that plant as well, that means ENCE are going to have a even stronger buyer coming into this round. More util to play with.
Finally got an AWP. Finally got a whole bunch of these rifles as well. Dycha's going to be a little lighter on the util, though. Already purchased himself a molly. See how the AWP dynamic does change things up, though. Because haven't seen Hades get into the game at all. Haven't seen him get an AWP in his hands, so...
Well, this will be their first full buy with AKs for everyone.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
They've been playing around with those Mac 10s, those Galils still. So we'll see if this changes their approach to the round off the back of the quick tactical.
Yeah, both of these teams quite low on the loss bonus as well, and a little bit injured in terms of the economy. So these next 2 rounds really going to showcase who's going to start to take control of this half.
Dycha going for that wrap towards Yard. Hades strikes onto Torzy, and now I don't know if they're going to be able to punish Dycha for this position. We'll see how MOUZ decide to rotate. They're just trying to double up over towards Annex. Snacks, not going to be able to get away with that one. JDC locks onto his head through the vent. Beamer spots Dycha there. And things are getting very awkward for this A-site defense, but there's still 3 players for MOUZ on the upper side.
Yeah, and the rest of ENCE exploring lower. Dycha just being a little bit of a pain in the butt. Trying to just keep these CTs occupied while ENCE set themselves up on that post plant for lower. They do get that smoke down this time around, so they will be able to actually get themselves into that post plant a little safer. And MOUZ are a little bit behind the 8 ball in terms of the rotations here. They're going to try to go double down secret. And I'd imagine that's going to be where the first point of contact will be made. You see that player just waiting patiently at Megaton. That's Dexter.
He's been here for ages as well. His positioning signaled that he knows that that wrap is going to be coming in slowly but surely from Dycha, who strikes onto Bemis, and now it's all on Dexter in that approach. Madden going to be tagged down to 6 HP, barely dodging the flames to keep himself alive. And with 3 alive, man disadvantage, it looks like MOUZ, they are just calling that save. Dex has to fight for his life here. Madden on 6 HP manages to make that trade a reality. We are going to see a tied game at 4 rounds each. ENCE taking this round.
2 guns kept over here for MOUZ. They can consider a buy. They can definitely drop over MP9 or something like that. They're going to take a tack timeout and have a bit of a think about it. It's an awkward position. They can't put the AWP back on Torzy either. And Hades, as soon as he finally gets that AWP in his hands here, not only gets his first kill, but a pretty critical kill, wins that AWP duel on outside, and puts his team in the pole position to start to explore secret, which they then leverage to win the round. So finally having a bit of impact there for ENCE. You put their first foot in the door here. Let's see what MOUZ's approach is going to be. Are they going to try to fight for control of this economy or try to take the path of least resistance? Still a fair bit of legs left in this half, but they are going to buy up. They're going to get a couple of drops over on these A1Ss. very light on the util here for MOUZ. They cannot play a little bit more of a long, drawn-out round, so this is going to be some early to mid-round fighting and a bit of a brawlier approach from MOUZ, I'm imagining.
Okay, let's see where we're going to see this aggression focused. And is it going to be a lobby crunch or... No, okay. We're actually not going too far forward. We've got JDC just up on top of hut. Bemis up there at Mustang as well, so solid positioning to deal with a push out of hard. JDC going to be traded with that door push. Now Bemis still going to be unchecked, able to make this one work. Oh, okay, he just barely gets that first onto Snacks, but ENCE too crisp there, finding 3 out of absolutely nowhere and picking up a 5th round.
Yeah, they've won those 2 critical gun rounds back-to-back, so they're well and truly in the driver's seat at this point here, ENCE. Not only up 5-4, but they break MOUZ's money and start to build up their own economy finally, which is still a little bit unstable. Snappi's going to be that money man on the Mac 10. Farm up the cash a little bit more.
Yeah.
But even after this round, you see Dexter, Torzi, they'll only be on 4.3. That's A1S, maybe a little bit of light util, but nothing to write home about heading into that next gun round. So it's going to be rough stuff for MOUZ. They had the dream start to this half, but ENCE has completely turned it around from here. They're looking quite strong to get at least 8 or 9 on T side, I reckon.
Well, I think I like this from MOUZ. So a lot of teams just throw those out as smokes, go for the full wrap late at yard. Usually on these anti-ecos, it's a pretty safe strat, and MOUZ decided to put all 5 guns in that one position.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they are very wrong. All 5 of the ENCE members just coming in through the door, staying close, looking to trade this one through, and already getting a huge amount of chip damage onto a couple of the ENCE members.
Pretty much out of util here for ENCE, but they've used all their util to just minimize risk and avoid those annoying positions and get into a post plan. Now a big retake on through Annex.
The main goal here for MOUZ is just take guns out of the hands of these ENCE members. Bemis in the open. Oh, that Mac 10 at range sometimes not going to work as expected. There's 2.
I mean, it's an even result, right?
Okay.
Not too many farmed up on the Mac 10 either, so that didn't really get great damage.
Yep. But ENCE with a 2-round lead now.
Yeah,
6 rounds already on the T side.
And great money as well to follow it up. And like I said, you see pretty light util for MOUZ again here into this round, so it's going to be a little bit harder to play that util trading game against a bit more of a defaulty approach from ENCE. To be fair though, ENCE have been really hitting these early to mid-round sharp timings in towards upper time and time again, so... And who could blame them? I mean, it's really been working for them.
Slight tag on the dycha there. Hades. Oh, strikes on the Dexter.
That's nightmare fuel right there. At least Frozen's pegged one back on outside, so it's a 4v4. But every single time, in these XVX situations after initial contact, ENCE have always been so much further ahead on the rotations of MOUZ. They've really, again, just been able to leverage pole position on Megaton in here through towards lowers. But this time, MOUZ are in some better positions. At least Frozen's got control of windows, and he's backed up nicely by BMS as well.
We'll see how they navigate this retake down through the halls. Already getting that doors control and starting to move their way into control. Madden able to find one of the JDC and make this retake that much harder. MOUZ, in these 3-on-4 retakes, they haven't been going for it, but Frozen is getting a little bit hungry now.
Yeah, but you've got great loss bonus at this point for MOUZ. You know that every save here is buying yourself an additional gun round as long as you've got 3 alive, so the incentive is really not there to go for this one. You need to try to be able to stabilize that economy and fight for further rounds. They are sticking around for exits here. Maybe trying to get Bemis out of control room if they can, but he's feeling confident enough that he's going to survive in the backside here, so...
Yeah.
Result for ENCE, they're going to be happy with that. Snack's going to take one more gun away, so...
Oh, okay.
That's kind of that's the difference maker, right? Because now you can't have that double drop over. Someone's got to go down to FAMAS or MP9 if you want to reinvest in this round, so it's going to be a bit sad.
We'll see if
Poor
that
JDC.
happens. JDC, is he copying the FAMAS? No, MP9 to just get some extra utility. Is that incendiary in there? Make sure he can try to control that hut bust in case another one comes for ENCE, who are going to be throwing this util from Snappi straight towards the top of hut and just forcing out that CT util to slow things down.
Especially when they're on the lower buys. Like, if you can trade util in the early round, you're feeling pretty happy about that as a tease. Straight down secret. A lot of players being heard here. Frozen Hearing all of these footsteps, he's going to play the timing around the fading smoke and get himself onto the backside of Annex. Snaps has lost his life in the meanwhile. dycha playing inside of the smoke has done a great job, but Frozen has a great timing as well.
He's trying to chase them, nip at their heels, coming in through the halls there, but again, that lower sight already controlled from ENCE. Madden brings that man advantage back to even Stevens. And the flash on the right side. The JDC just to try to get some info there from Mega. Torzy as well. Just peeking that scope around the corner. Looking down that left side of sight. Madden all down to the timing here as he plays the edge of the smoke. Spotted. Crisp shot coming through, but the AWP answers back with another. Hades finds himself that double and even a triple for the end of the round. Picking up 8 and the majority for ENCE.
He was 0-5, and then he put an AWP in his hands.
Yeah.
7-5. Hasn't missed a shot. On the T side, Nuke, absolutely gorgeous. And that's going to be yet another reset here for the MOUZ boys. That's a bitter pill to swallow because that retake was looking better than some of their other lower site retakes that we've seen before. They were starting to put the pieces together, but couldn't quite trade that last kill in the XVX. Another tack timeout here for MOUZ. They're going to be really disappointed because, like we said, they had a great start to this half after winning that second round force and then flawless anti-force into an anti-eco. It's exactly what you want on the CT side, but ENCE have just brawled their way straight back into this half.
Yeah.
And they're in pole position now to close out this game unless MOUZ can fight back on their own T side because that's what they have to do now. They're trying to scrape together a couple of rounds at the end of the half. Here's going to be the half buy to give themselves an outside shot at it. But really, at this point, the objective moves from controlling the half from MOUZ to can we scrape in a gun round here or there at the tail end of it? And then
see this faster approach towards A yet again. Util been dumped both ways. Bemis just with this deagle wants to get up in their grills, but ENCE hit the brakes.
Yeah, they're chilling. Kind of conditioning MOUZ on some of these timings. Don't want to rush in too fast. Getting a bit of a feel what MOUZ is doing here. Probably expecting the half bite. Just cutting all sound. Outside smokes, trying to make MOUZ nervous about that rotation down to secret and force out a couple of mistakes as ENCE edge their way back into upper.
Oh, but it's the deep wall, and we got Frozen here who can have a peek shortly and get that extra info so we can see them maybe go back towards A, but JDC jumping onto Tetris at probably the worst possible moment. Snacks double on the entry, putting his life on the line, and he is happy to crack that one open. MOUZ now looking like they've got no real hope in the round. Dexter looking for a timing. He loses that one to dycha, who's all over the trophy room.
It's just great calling from Snappi. 100%. Really playing around different timings, hitting in the early round on really sharp timings with util.
Yeah.
Then conditioning the CTs to react to certain util on the half buy. You know, you see a couple of grenades sprinkled in there. They're all bled out by ENCE, and then the dry contact approach after that outside wall of smokes plays the info denial a little bit. Not that that was the relevant part of the round. It was more so that they've been playing a lot off this early round util, off these early round timings, going in really, really hard, and that time it's just the initial util into a dry contact push and mixing up things and making MOUZ hyper uncomfortable. And Frozen, look, yeah, he's sharp right now, but outside of the clutch, a lot of these are, you know, after the round's already done and dusted.
Well, you know, he missed that crucial one that mattered onto Hades, but unfortunately, look, you can't outshoot an AWP if the man's just popping off for clips like that. Now, 2 rounds remaining in the half. MOUZ back on to a full bite. Let's see if anything changes here.
Hence, they playing with MOUZ a lot in terms of these timings that they're hitting, in terms of the utility. This time from ENCE, it's a quicker one straight into upper.
Madden just wrapping all the way around default there. Beam is not going to be able to hold Frozen. Finds himself a double, as well as Torzy, who's peeking his head around. Dexter even up to heaven, so MOUZ already stacking this upper site. They know that this bomb is down below heaven. And JDC just looking for any extra info. Man was stuck at default for so long there over the top of the smoke. We're going to see the push out. JDC able to turn it into a trade, but they know one is still over towards heaven. And they have a rough idea of Torzy's position too. 1 bullet there's looking pretty good. And Torzy able to hold that cross to sight and strikes as well. So a big round from MOUZ, one that they desperately needed if they want a chance in that second half.
Yeah, you don't want to be going down 11-4, heading into your own T side to grind things back here. Like I said, just scraping whatever gun rounds they could together. Frozen, big impact on the multi-frag, just coming in as that rotator on elbow side to heaven. Help out JDC on the site, who did a great job buying time with that util.
Yeah. Let's see if they can string two together and make it a 6-9 affair. Or if ENCE can get to double digits in the first half. Let's see. It's going to be a bit of action towards outers. dycha again just looking for those entries here. Deep. All the smokes as well.
And dycha gonna head back to lobby side after a lot of initial util being invested on outside. Deep position in towards elbow here, and MOUZ ready to control lobby. Not something that ENCE have had to play against before, and you can see Snappi well and truly caught off guard by that.
Let's see how ENCE decide to navigate the rest of the round, because that was, of course, the bomb spotted making its way to lobby. And MOUZ, they've got 4 members here towards the top side of the map. JDC going to be mollied out of this position. Decides to drop and fight instead, and Bemis will be mollied out of CT vent. They hear that fire ticking. Snacks, though, so aggressive, already tucked away here in the side of the vent, and they're still just hunting, knowing JDC's somewhere around that hut position. Oh, he's going to be able to hold for one. The trade instantly comes through, and the drop in event might just be the end of the round. That's going to be the bomb retrieved for Snacks, who gets the trade, but it's cost him 95 points of health, and now in a 1-on-2, the super sub. Can he clutch it?
Torzy posted up on decon here, but that's going to be good enough. Shuts him down from Windows side, and now scrape a couple of needed rounds towards the end of the half. Let's see if they can make a comeback in towards that halftime.
The moment I joined ENCE, like first 1 or 2 weeks, I didn't feel as much confident as I'm now. But like everyone in the team contributed, and especially coach and Snappi, they helped me a lot to gain the confidence back. They let me do the plays I usually do to make me feel confident, and like they helped me a lot. But the first like 1 or 2 weeks, it was a bit rough for me because I just came into the team and structure and everything was different than the past team. So it took some time to fix.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to IEM Dallas. We got MOUZ and ENCE going toe-to-toe, blow for blow here. The first best of one of the day on the B stream. And ENCE have led at the half by 3 big old rounds. Going into that CT side, I'm a little bit worried for MOUZ here.
Yeah, we'll see. They scraped together those last couple of gun rounds at the end of the half. That was much needed. If they can start off well here on the T side pistol, that could be absolutely excellent for them, gunning it straight in towards ramp while fighting outside at the same time. This is a lot for ENCE to handle.
But it's just JDC here, and he's going to be collapsed upon. Snacks drawing all of his attention over to this position. Torsi, though, can at least hit that entry down to low as JDC still being a nuisance over towards lockers and just jumping around, trying to get any extra info. 2-man advantage. 2 guns for dycha, and that's not enough to beat Frozen. Close range with a Glock in hand. And Madden, his position now known. Dexter constantly re-peeking, making sure he's locked into this position over towards the upper side. And MOUZ will be very happy to take this T-pistol.
Yeah, really well-constructed pistol. Just a whole lot happening. Nice little surf off the
silent drop
there.
too.
Good movement from Madden. You love to see it. He's getting himself a couple of exits here, maybe. And a jump spot from JDC, who did a great job on outside. And like I said, just kind of pulling ENCE apart there. Contact on outside at the same time that they're hitting ramp room. It's a lot to handle as ENCE. Like, if you're that player in Windows or Elbow Room or something like that, or you're at Heaven, you know, you've got a split-second decision to effectively choose which arm of the push to deal with, and a lot of the time, even that's not enough as your ramp player gets crunched. He needs to decide, am I fighting ramp room because I'm expecting the elbow rotator to come in, or am I dropping towards unders? And that's where some of those mistakes can start to come in.
Well, let's see if MOUZ can navigate this T-side anti-eco, because, of course, they did manage to win their CT second round.
Snacks. Mag 7. Never change.
The classic. Let's see if he can put himself in a position to succeed with it. He's playing real close over towards the hut.
MOUZ very spread approach across the map. 2 players down in towards Secret, just applying pressure. But on the rest of the map, they're still keeping presence. They got that player on silo and outside. They've still got Beamers controlling lobby. They're trying to wait for aggression and mistakes out of ENCE. They're trying to make it look like they're applying pressure to Secret and closing out the round down there, while still giving ENCE enough chances to potentially make some mistakes. But forget about that. That's a nice pick from Hades, and now contact on towards Madden down in towards Windows here.
The issue is the spacing was so wide for a couple of the members that, look, they were untradeable. JDC drops, at least that rifle's in a rough to retrieve position. And now ENCE, with the man advantage, they're going to send Hades all the way around to the outers. I think he's very much focused on getting that AK or Galil in hand. And Snappi! Crisp one straight through. Decon. Oh my, Madden as well. Going to be tucked away here on the rafters. Torsi able to out-aim him with a couple of whipped deagle shots. Snappi. Oh, he started strong and he's going to finish even better, finding a second kill for himself and brings it to this 2-on-2. MOUZ realizing getting that bomb plant is extremely crucial. But look, we've got Hades coming in on the flank and it's all going to boil down to him, who's crisp with it. Gets that AK in hand. Torsi just 1 bullet from the grave, but he holds his line tucked away on the back of sight. And MOUZ salvaged that one, but it's cost him a pretty penny.
Oh, 100%. Surely there's some level of reinvestment from ENCE. They're actually going to just send it. He had like 1 player up on 3.7. Really crisp shooting on the dig. Some very, very small raw adjustments at ranges like that. You need some very, very steady aim to be hitting those heads. Oh. Nice little flick there from Hades at the end as well. And this is where the reinvestment comes in. A1S's, MP9, Deagles, ENCE are going for broke here. They're going to try to risk it for the biscuit. They're keen for the bicky.
Love a good bicky at 2:30 AM in the morning. Hades, looks away at just the wrong moment, and it's almost cost him his life.
Snappi's gone down glass cannon, so he's not the one you want to hand the A1S to. Madden's not a bad candidate. Still has full armor. And MOUZ still investing a couple of smokes on outside, but here's the creep out Squeaky.
Waiting to swing on Snacks here. Going to be able to win that first one. Hades, though, we saw what he did in the previous round with the Deagle, and he's looking to do it again. Just wrapping on the right side of sight. Beamers with the Mac 10. Going to be falling, and that's going to be bomb starting to make its way back into Squeaky. Frozen, not ready for the push, but Hades, his Mr. Sitter, couldn't quite track that one with all the adrenaline pumping through his veins.
Yeah, and now MOUZ are calling the audible. They went straight back towards ramp room, but Torsey is feeling a little saucy. Going to go back in towards lobby. See if he can catch any of the ENCE players trying to go for a quick flank. Frozen hanging around in ramp room, rather. They've got a couple of decisions, right? They can go down in lower, but they're instead going to creep up towards ladder base. They've pulled that double rotation down into lower, so this is 100% the play. It's only Hades on upper here with 15 HP, and he's not even looking in the right direction, mate.
How's the timing? Snappi starting to make his way up the vent, but will he get there in time? Clears out the door position. Flash out of heaven, and Hades not able to stop the drop initially, but he pulls it back, and Snappi, that rotation comes in clutch. A dig shot all the way across the top of sight, and ENCE find themselves those double digits.
They got the biggie.
They did.
Took all but one gun away from MOUZ in round number 17. They full buy into round number 18, and Snappi even drops a A1S and goes glass cannon on a dig, and it's all worth it to break MOUZ's economy right there.
Yeah.
Now they go into the anti-eco. Snappi's even got himself a Mac 10. He's looking to make it a little bit of cash. And ENCE, this is their chance to stabilize their economy and start to build themselves a little bit of a stronghold on this CT side to potentially put themselves in touching distance of closing out this game at Nuke.
All numbers for MOUZ. Over towards outers here, just waiting for one of these CTs to go a step too wide. Ooh, and JDC climbing over towards red there. Madden able just to mop this one up. Space for MOUZ is not looking too good with the Glocks. The distance, it's a huge factor there, and the inaccuracy certainly hitting him in the backside. So ENCE, an easy 11th, and more importantly, that is 5 alive. Yeah,
5 alive, full util. Now MOUZ going into their gun round here are a little bit poorer than they'd like to be. 3.3 for JDC. See, Torsey is only going for the double flash. They're missing a whole lot of critical nades here. Only Dexter has a full util set. They've only got 3 smokes to work with as well. Bit limited on the flashes, only 1 molly. Some of these positions pretty important to molly off on Nuke here.
Again, starting to come over towards outers. How's the timing? He's swinging wide in the open, and he's going to be punished for it. Dycha finds a double, swinging at the back of warehouse there, and now in a 2-on-5 MOUZ, looking for an answer.
Yeah, you can see why they went for that play. Like they want to try to set themselves up in a position where they only invest a couple of smokes, a little bit of util, because they really aren't working with a lot in that round to try to find an opening pick, and from there they can start to pick apart the rotations and work the round a little bit more, but it just hasn't worked for them at all.
How's this timing coming through from Snacks? Just jiggling his way forward, enabling flash over the top. Hades clutch on that util. Bemis down to 15. Man, he's heard that swing coming in from Annex. Going to be dropping that flash towards the right side. Trying to get into an off position, but Madden had too much health to play with there. 1 bullet. Mops up Bemis, mops up the round. Puts 12 on the board for ENCE. So that's going to be the 4-round lead. And MOUZ back onto pistols again.
They're going to have to dig deep on this T side and really start to grind it back. Because it's going to be 13-8, and it's going to be an ENCE, I'd imagine, after this anti-eco with a real strong economy built up. You're going to have to win so many gun rounds back to back to back.
Yeah.
To try to win this game here as MOUZ.
Well, the Eagles at range have a chance unless Hades is standing in their way. And he's played this perfectly. Not to stand out in the open, using that cover to his advantage. And Torsey knows better than to go for that repeat. Man's playing with him. But Hades is not missing too much with this big green today.
Like I was saying before, players like Hades, players like Dycha, had the pleasure of watching them and casting them a little bit more in things like Challenger and Premier. So to see them on a Tier 1 EUCS team, captained by a very experienced player, just goes to show you that a lot of these players in these developmental leagues really thriving and starting to come up through the ecosystem with just a little bit of guidance can be on a top 3 team in the world after a little bit of development, a little bit of time to build up.
That's it.
Which is exactly what ENCE's money has done. They're in the best possible position to close out this game now. It's going to be real tough for MOUZ. Finally, they get themselves a gun round here with full util, so Let's see what their go-to is going to be.
Not too much early util coming through from MOUZ. Towards the A side at least. You see this wall of smoke start to come through, but I think there's one missing. As far as I can see there. Molly towards Secret just to force dycha away, and Torzi finds himself at least an opening. The upper side of things, Big Pig's coming through and denying that lobby aggression.
Yeah, there are still a couple of timings where this can go wrong. This being one of them. Dexter doesn't have his gun out, loses a lot of HP there. dycha in vents now. Can still find a timing to win this round. Dexter going to play a little bit of trickery, chucking a smoke down near Decon and walking his way back in towards ramp. Going to go elbow side while Frozen going to wrap all the way through outside. So there are still some opportunities here for dycha to lock this one down, and from there, MOUZ would maybe be staring down a single save into map point for ENCE.
How's the timing? Dexter spotted at heaven, but dycha has missed that opportunity. Dexter making a world of noise going down the ladder, so dycha goes all the way down towards that lower site. You can see the bomb has been left at elbow, though. So Dexter makes his way towards B. dycha calls the bluff.
Oh, he's going to get himself in heart. That's going to be such a strong position for the post.
All the way.
That might just have won it.
Through lobby. Defense from heaven, but Frozen looking the wrong direction. So a huge chance here. Dexter's gone for the jump peak, which has cost him his life. At least the bomb is planted for Frozen here, but he's got no util to play with. dycha has a nade, but he's just using that M4 off position as well. Expecting the close swing from Frozen, reads him like a book, plays him to a T.
At least MOUZ gets to plant, which is going to help them put together another buy here. Again, a couple of players a little poorer. Might have to go down to the Galils or skip a couple nades. Individuals on ENCE, though, even without the main man Sphinx today, more than good enough to tussle with MOUZ.
Let's see if anything changes here. MOUZ blowing up Squeaky. Looking to play these close range lines. Over towards lobby. 4 players towards this position as well. Only Frozen. Outers. Some work over here.
Yeah, not many flashes or mollies left over here for MOUZ, so gonna have to be very selective with where they want to utilize that util. Molly goes to CT net, so no more util they can really clear out parts of the map with. They've only got a couple of flashes for these timings. Do they contest some of the angles that will help them progress through the map, like hut or like a ramp room and things like that? Actually, a wrap back towards outside at 105. Gonna throw some outside smokes and then maybe try to hit a nice timing in towards upper with Frozen on the lurk through Annex. Gonna have to be a bit more contacty though. At least they pulled that rotation down the vent.
They have. But you can also see dycha starting to make his way.
Oh, it's a ramp contact.
Okay, he's up at heaven though, so it's just Snappi here to try to stop what's happening. No, Hades wraps at elbow, and things get that much more difficult. Able to play a tighter line there, but knows that someone could be creeping upon him, so falls back, refocuses back towards the outer side of things. Snappi, solid position to find 3 quick headshots. That's a nasty one for MOUZ to have to deal with.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, they used all their util in the early round. The 2 flashes they invested in ramp didn't even stop Hades from picking one of them as they crossed in towards ramp room. Like, that just did not work for MOUZ at all.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of those shots sounded like people didn't have helmets. So that M4 was able to get a couple of one taps.
They might not have. They were a little bit.
I heard the squishy, Mitch.
The squishy. You love the squishy.
Yeah.
I feel like MOUZ, they invested all their util and didn't really get any significant advantage from it, right? Like, they were kind of still sitting around lobby side. They got Frozen on outside, but he wasn't able to have any impact because the rest of the team moving in towards ramp room just got absolutely mopped, so.
Well, it's going to be a rough comeback. For MOUZ, they've used every single tactical.
Yeah.
And they don't have a whole lot left in the tank for this best of one.
Yeah. It's feeling a little bit outclassed by ENCE in this game, unfortunately.
Yep. And look, you've asked the question, like, who's going to be lifting while Snacks is here as the sub, right?
Yep.
While Sphinx is away. And it looks like Madden and Hades both put their hands up. Everyone really doing a decent job for ENCE here.
Well, outside wall of smoke's going to be committed to this time from MOUZ, so this is a significant investment of util. They're going to flash their way through it as well and try to go for a little bit of a fight. Nice entry from Frozen. Finally, MOUZ have got themselves a bit of an advantage here.
Slightly missed opportunity by Hades there. He spotted someone tucking all the way into Warehouse. I believe it was Frozen. And now with the numbers advantage, let's see how MOUZ work their way back towards the B site. They're still just wrapping down towards Decon and don't have a huge amount of util to play with, so maybe just the one smoke to get this bomb planted.
Prog smoke to plant for sure. Snack's in a great spot though.
Right
Creeping in before Decon. Dexter's the main man on the site here with the bomb, so that might be bomb plant denial here.
It's right out in the smoke there. Snacks reveals his position. The swing from Dexter, it's no good. It's back to the 2-on-3 now. Bemis able to find one as an answer, and Hades connecting yet again. Just 6 points of health for him, but look how far away one of these team players is. That's Frozen coming all the way from Mega. Bemis saves the day at double doors. And Snacks now in a 1-on-2. Can't even tap the damn bomb. And there you have it. MOUZ find one.
Yeah, Frozen doing what he does best in that aggressive, as an aggressive rifler, he finds that entry, but he's actually been more in kind of like in a lurk role on this T-side of Nuke, and it feels like he's been the man that they put in towards that late round kind of situations a lot of the time. But you see him, he's able to get involved in the mix early on, getting flashed through those smokes, finds that first entry, which puts MOUZ in that pole position, even though it gets a bit tricky in the mid-round. They still put the pieces back together. So they're staying in it. Tack timeout from ENCE, who still have plenty of cash. They've just done such a great job of stabilizing this economy on the CT side and making it as hard as possible for MOUZ to come back into this one.
But they started things. You know, they put some petrol in the tank. They might be able to make it to the finish line.
Someone else has got to be getting some entries, though, other than Frozen, because it's very clear to me that he's being put in towards the late round. So you need to see Bemis or JDC probably crack something open here. Maybe Torsi on the ult. A few more contributors. Because ENCE, I feel like, it's kind of been pulling them in the early round. That was almost it, wasn't it?
Almost. Couldn't quite find that final bullet needed. And Hades surviving and still able to have huge impact here on low health. Man's so damn sharp with the AWP today.
That smoke on towards Addict's side, but on top of Warehouse, dycha. That's definitely put MOUZ in the coffin here. A 2-on-5 with bomb dropped on outside? I don't think so.
Man's just gone straight towards the top of Warehouse, playing around these flashes. Dexter picking up the AWP, living out the old glory days, and not going to be able to connect there. dycha for 3, and he wants to make it 4. Things about to end right here, right now, but Bemis needs to put the team on his back to stop that from happening. He's going to try his hand at the AWP as well. 40 seconds, and ENCE slowly but surely pushing their way forward, locking him in there with the molly. Burst found, but the fire gets it done. And we are going to see ENCE taking their first win here in IEM Dallas, 16-9 over MOUZ. Ladies and gents,